This is my little space. I moved in here a few years ago, and over time I've just worked on this place, making it a little bit more my own. This building used to be one of the city's like temporary office buildings. I guess weekends the girls and I will come in here, and yes, I have this huge projector screen. We actually had it for outdoor movie nights, but it works perfect. We can do it inside or outside.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, July 19th, 2024. I literally just finished a video about Ginger and Jeremy. You should check out if you haven't seen it yet. It's all about the money issues going on in their family. But while I was in the process of editing that video and putting it out, I got a text message from someone that is an inside connection with the Duggar family, and I was told point blank that Jana Duggar is in fact getting married, and her wedding is coming up in August. Now, this comes from two separate sources who are absolutely reliable, completely always on par, never give me bad information, and both people are not connected to each other. I have two separate sources telling me the exact same story. The details about this are very vague, and it sounds like the Duggars are keeping it very under wraps. So here is what I can tell you. I got a text message from someone who has known the Duggars for a very long time, and they said, hey, I just wanted to let you know, I got a message that Jana is in fact getting married in August, and invitations have already been sent out. Someone reached out to me this week to see if I got an invite, which we were not invited. So they said you might want to check in with other people to see if they've heard anything, because that's what I've heard. So then what I did was I went ahead and I reached out to a couple people that I know that might have information, and another separate source I contacted and I said, hey, I've heard that Jana's getting married. Do you know any of the details? I heard it was in August. And this person said, I did hear, and it is true. She is getting married. To which then I said, do you know any of the details? Do you know who the groom is? Do you know where the wedding is? And they didn't. So people are getting invitations. The wedding is happening in August, and no one at this point knows who the groom is. Nobody knows where the wedding is located. And the wedding in August is kind of interesting because a couple weeks ago, a registry was made for Jana and Stephen Wisman, and the wedding was supposed to be for August 24th, with the wedding being hosted in Nebraska. Now, I have to state that the Duggars haven't been known to put their registries out publicly like this, because Jed and Katie had a registry, and they used the website called Zola, okay? And when they did it, you had to have a password in order to get into their page to see any of the details about the event. The page that's on Zola for Jana and Stephen is public. There's a registry set up, and absolutely nothing on the registry has been purchased. So it's hard for me to know if the registry is real, if the registry is some sort of decoy, or if it was made by a fan. And if you try to go to purchase anything, it won't tell you where it's shipping the registry items to. So I would suggest not looking at that as like the be-all end-all registry. And I don't still to this point know who her groom is. But what I can tell you is that Duggar siblings have been telling friends that Jana is in fact getting married. And the wedding, for a lot of people that are hearing about it, said it comes as a surprise because they didn't even know that Jana was courting anyone. They didn't know that there was even a relationship happening. Everything that's been happening with the Duggars has been kept very, very, very private. and everything that's been going on with relationships, with courtships, with family problems. They're trying to hide and conceal everything. So what I said to them is, if the wedding's happening in August, do you know where it is? No, don't know who the groom is. The one person said is, I'm sure it's a guy from a large family that has a lot of siblings that's in the IBLP or part of the IBLP or adjacent to the IBLP. I did ask about Steven and they couldn't confirm, so I'm just putting that out there. So now this all makes sense about why Jim Bob has Jana coming back and posting so much. Because if this is true, if her channel is starting to get out like posts, and if she is starting to get back in the algorithm, which the algorithm works best when you are consistently posting on social media. In order to get better engagement, you have to post more frequently. In order to get better views on YouTube, you have to post more often. And if there's going to be revenue made for this, they have to start building intrigue and question about, why did Jana come back all of this time? So we know she was wearing a ring in a picture with her brother John and Abby when they were in South Carolina. We also know that this week she uploaded a video and made a joke about how she got a stuffed animal from her boyfriend, and then went on to explain that the stuffed animal was actually from her brother James, and that the stuffed animal keeps her company in her tiny home. This is also the same week that she let everyone know that she was living in a tiny home away from the Duggar family in their driveway, basically. And she showed off the tiny home, and she also showed off a remodel that she did. And some of these videos are old. So she uploaded a video of them remodeling the playroom in the Duggars house, which was more than 2 years old. It's hard to know when she made the video about the tiny house because she doesn't give a date and she only references that she's lived there for a couple years. So at this point, all we know is that a wedding for Jana Duggar is happening in August. I have this weird thought, and I don't know if it's true or not, but there's been so much media output about Jana because her sisters, both Jill and Ginger, have spoken numerous times about the fact that if you're a woman in the IBLP, that you cannot move out until you're married, and that some girls will just stay in their families because they don't know that they can move out. And also, many girls only get married because it's their only way to get out, right? And there's been all this speculation and discussion that Jana was designated as the stay-at-home daughter, which means that Jim Bob and Michelle had no plans to allow her to marry. In some families, oldest daughters will take on the role as a second mother, and their job is to not only help take care of the family, but as the parents age, the role of the stay-at-home daughter is then to in turn become the caregiver of the parents, so that there's always someone that will be there for the parents as they get old. So basically, the daughter is sacrificing her life for her family, sacrificing her ability to have a partner. This happens in the IBLP. So with that speculation and a lot of people asking, like, why aren't you letting Jana leave? I could totally see Jim Bob being like, all right, we have to get this done, Jana. Like, we're getting you married now. Jim Bob is known to shop for partners for his kids. He was desperate to get John married, and so he was shopping for friends to pick out a wife for John, and went through numerous options before he landed on Abby. In terms of Justin was caught kissing a girl at Big Sandy, and because he was doing something that was outside of their, chastity rules and modesty rules, the solution was that Justin needed to be married. And Justin was not allowed to marry the girl that he was kissing because that girl, her family, couldn't be controlled by the Duggars. And so he was arranged into a marriage with Claire Duggar. Also, when Jed Duggar was deciding that he wanted to be a politician and was running for office, suddenly Jim Bob needed to find Jed a wife. And so he worked his magic and found another convert into the IBLP who happened to have a daughter that was close in age to Jed. And Jed and Katie were arranged into a marriage. Jim Bob's solution for problems that he either finds himself in publicly or disobedience with the children is to get them married. There also could be that Jana is becoming too disobedient. So because she's wearing pants and shorts and she's not obeying his rules anymore, maybe he thinks that Jana's not a good enough influence to be around the daughters all the time. And so he wants her out and married so that she can't have direct influence over the kids. I know that sounds insane, but this happens in the IBLP all the time. Weird things really trigger these patriarchs, and some of it has to do with clothing. Jim Bob has been said to have issues with pants and shorts and believes it's immodest and improper. So if Jana's now doing that, is she suddenly not, permissible? Let's get her married. Either way, there's a lot of suspicion about the fact that this is happening without anyone knowing that there was ever a boyfriend to begin with, and that all of this was kept so quiet. Another reason why it could be kept quiet is that Jim Bob is looking for a huge payday. Jim Bob knows that if he can keep everything quiet and he can sell exclusive rights to photographs for her wedding or even to video, like filming her wedding, he could make a lot of money. I know it sounds ridiculous, but Duggar fans are so invested in Jana that I could see some network doing a wedding special for her. I don't know if they ever would, but I could see it as a possibility. And maybe Jim Bob is gunning for one. I don't know. Either way, what I can confirm, outside of all of my conspiracy speculations there, is that Jana is getting married. The wedding is in August, location and groom unknown. And as soon as I learn more, I will let you know as soon as possible. So it's coming. Cinderella Duggar, no more. She has found a husband that her dad has probably arranged her to marry. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Bye, everyone.